Welcome to Two Guys and Mike podcast. I'm your host, Jason Thompson, and my illustrious co-host.
Jeremy Connors.
That's an introduction that didn't need to be introduced.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a little while. Been a couple of days.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, actually. It's been an eventful period of time. Tons of stuff, whirlwind.
Huge.
It never stops. Every day you look at your phone, you're like, what else is happening now? What's going on
Didn't
now?
Sheryl Crow sing about that? Every day is a winding road.
Every day is a winding road. Yeah.
He's gonna take his clothes off.
No. I'm just gonna trade in my Tesla.
Whoa! Why? Why would you do that?
Sheryl Crow did, didn't she?
Yeah. Nah.
Same.
Gotta
I don't know. To
gotta
me,
keep it separated.
oh, what's all music
I don't
references?
know. It's one of those deals today.
We had Phil Barrett here yesterday, and
I'll tell you, the Phil Barrett. Hey,
man.
Yeah,
And
man.
he was talking about singing the national anthem at the Need for Speed Albee Saratoga Speedway. It was.
Listen, have you ever heard Phil sing? Oh my
he
God.
does an amazing Frank Sinatra.
I'll tell you.
I'll have it my way. That was
Phil.
Philip.
Philippe.
He's gonna kill us.
I know.
He's gonna kill us.
Yeah, that's Sir Philip Barrett.
Sir Philip. We miss him.
We do.
He's always a good guy.
Yes.
So let's see. Since we last talked, Trump announced a day of liberation.
It was a great day of liberation. I felt liberated yesterday.
Absolutely. I felt money flowing into the country.
You know,
What was your biggest takeaway with those charts? I know what mine was, but I want you to tell me if it's the same as yours.
we're getting screwed.
Every single
God.
country has tariffs on it.
Jay, and these people are telling us we're wrong.
Yeah.
Trump's wrong.
Did you see that you had the Prime Minister of Australia on there today? And he was saying about the tariff that the United States is now putting on their beef.
Yes.
Well, Australia won't even import our beef.
Correct.
So that's okay. That's being a good friend.
That's fine.
But because we put a tariff now, because they won't even allow our beef to be sold in Australia, we're the bad friend because we think that it should be the same.
You know, what's fair is fair, right? And in business, you're a businessman. I do business outside of my full-time career. You in
OnlyFans?
You know,
Your feet pics?
just saying. But so you know what? Now if you're gonna get rooked, are you gonna be in business? Are you gonna remain in business? No.
No.
Okay, you're gonna be shut down. You're gonna lose. And what are we doing right now? Winning. We're
Yeah,
winning.
I will never get.
Because,
I'll never get tired of winning.
I love to win, right? And President Trump is bringing the heat. Not daily, hourly. Okay. Hourly.
It's incredible the speed and pace that this guy moves.
And it's with swift accuracy too, right? And I know we've had conversations about Doge and all that early on, right? A little rough out of the gate, but boy, are they cranking it now.
Here's my only concern, and I want you to give me your educated input on what you think my thought process, because I think Donald Trump is definitely winning the tariff battle, hands down.
Look at Canada today.
Hands down.
First thing this morning.
Agreed, but here's to that point, Canada specifically, just because I think it's a problematic thing.
Yep.
So Canada right now, we've won. It looks like we're going to win the tariff war there. They're willing to drop all the tariffs and it'll be no reciprocal tax, tariffs and whatnot. Everything will be good. But the problem is, in doing so, you have now really upset the citizens of Canada. So by calling them names and being bullish and the way he imposed this, and the attack on their sovereignty, you really upset the people. So great, we've won the tariff battle, but now because we've upset everything, we're going to lose the American branding. So the Canadian people are going to say, I'm not going to freaking buy that Tito's because I'm pissed off at the Americans. So yeah, great, the Tito's back on the shelf. Their markets are now open, unfettered, but people just aren't going to buy American brands because they're pissed off and they don't want to deal with us individually, not the government, individually. What's your thought on that?
So I'm gonna give you my thought. I think it's gonna be short term, right? it's let's face it, right? The most generation in our society now can't keep attention for more than 30 seconds. So,
TikTok.
yeah, exactly. And so what I think is, I think it's going to be short-lived. I think, people are going to be pissed off, if you will, in short term. But I think in the long term, things will go back. Uh, I think consumers are going to consume. I mean, listen, I like Tito's. I do.
Tito's is the best vodka ever.
Um,
I was the first guy on the Tito's bandwagon
You
when
got
it
me
was
on-
when
you
it
got me
was the
on it.
lower shelf.
you got me on it.
Yeah,
I
when it was the
yeah.
low shelf
I was
vodka.
like, wow. I mean, I think it's better than Grey Goose, quite honestly.
I think it's a really
you
good
know.
vodka.
So, but
From a good red state.
oh, everything's bigger and badder. Eh, Texas.
Yes.
I do love Texas. I've been there multiple times. Galveston, Houston, College Station. Oh,
Nice.
but going back to it, I think that there's going to be I think it's short term. I think that Trump's a master strategist, right? He is a master chess player. I think he fully understands.
They say he
that,
plays 4-dimensional chess.
I'm hearing it's called 5D. 5D
5-dimensional chess.
Yep, 5D chess. Look it up, Google it. But I think he fully understands the ramifications of it. But I think he's going to build a better brand. I really do. I think coming out of it, you're going to start seeing. Remember when we were kids, how proud you were to have that Made in the USA sticker on any of our goods, right?
Well,
I think we're going to start seeing that.
I think, if I was able to trip something in Donald Trump's ear, it would be one of those things. I noticed. I mean, if you follow TikTok or any reels on Facebook or YouTube, it's all, you see a lot of things in Canada right now. Everything, there's a nice big bold label that says "Made in Canada" on all the shelves in every store. I think that should be an initiative that's part of the merchandising and marketing campaign across the United States, that everything on the shelves has to be labeled. Do like a 2-star system. If it's an American company and made in the United States, so that people know, you know what, I'm gonna buy the American made product. I'm gonna buy from the American company before I buy from the foreign company. Because you know what would happen? All these people can say whatever they want, can speak whatever they want about the trade policy. But if America decided to say, you know what, we're going to become xenophobes when it comes to our buying tactics, and we're only going to buy made in the United States stuff, every single economy in the world would crumble.
It would.
Crumble.
It would.
They need our markets. We don't need theirs. Yes, of course, we want their markets because it's a global economy. It's a way for stability, yada, yada, yada. But there comes a time and a point that we have to start looking at the America first. Our homes, our backyards, our communities.
Jay, it affects us. It's going to affect our family. It's going to affect, our kin for many, many generations, right?
This is a long-term game.
What we're seeing is this is generational, right? This is a generational move. Today.
Hi, everybody. Give us a like if you like it. Like the show. Sorry to interrupt, Jeremy. I just see a couple people on there. Give us some hearts. Let's see it.
So now I think we're going to be in a good place, right? It's going to, like I said, a little painful at first. But let's face it, Jay, all this stuff's happening within the first 100 days.
It's crazy.
It's insane what's going on. For me, I think it's definitely something that I like to see. I like to see things coming back to America. I like to see the innovation think tanks that are going on now. Ford Motor Company is offering full
employee discounts, yeah,
to anyone. CEO just announced that yesterday. They're not afraid. They say they have more than enough electronics and all the criticals that they would need.
Well, Trump gave them a couple of months, a month or so to prepare.
And they ramped it up.
Yeah.
And they did. They were successful with that. China's running. They're going to be running scared, right?
They've got to be running scared.
And they are already, right? You're starting to see some attacks on businesses here in the States and others that are operating in Beijing. They're actually going to start going in and demanding all information, intelligence, and communication with the United States for any business operating in Beijing right now. I heard that on the way down here, in fact. So that's a little scary, right? I mean, so to me, when I look at that, where am I going to do business? I'm going to do business where it's going to be safe and my trade secrets are kept secret, and I can, you know, give a good product to the consumer. Yeah, it's going to be the United States, right? Where,
Well, look at
where my
look,
patents hold up, right?
look at Taiwan semiconductors. Why wouldn't
Oh
they
my
want to
God.
have a factory here instead of Taiwan, where they're under continuous threat of being attacked
That all went
on
away.
the
That all
Pacific
went away,
Rim?
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
look at Hong Kong,
shit.
same thing.
Remember that? That was gonna go full tilt here. I mean, we talked about Taiwan being invaded here a couple of months ago, during the what was that called? The Auto Pen Administration.
The auto pen, I love it.
Uh,
Ain't that the truth?
so
Boy, as that stuff comes out,
mhm.
you realize who the hell really was president.
Who was running this country?
Did you hear when
crazies.
Mike Johnson said to Biden, one of the last times he saw him, he said, "Hey, really quick, why would you sign an executive order limiting the export of natural gas, liquefied natural gas?" He goes, "I never signed that."
Yeah.
He goes, "Mr. President, you did." He goes, "No, no, 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 I didn't sign that." This guy had no idea what he was doing.
He wasn't signing it though, right? I mean, when they come out here and they get this auto pen stuff, it's just insane what's going on. I mean, you're watching some of these briefings coming out there with Elon Musk and all these other executives that are going on, and you're seeing just the rampant, disgusting, wasteful spending and
Nuts.
laundering, it's money laundering, right? Let's face it. And we're seeing this playing out. It's my mind is blown. And there should be some people who are making millions who are running scared.
Absolutely. That's why
Nancy Pelosi
the ones who are the loudest screamers, the ones who have the most amount to lose.
Chucky.
But what I couldn't believe
I mean,
is, did you see the head of the EU right now screaming that they're going to impose retaliatory tariffs on the United States, where we can't sell an American car in Europe.
Correct.
Yet we own, because we just can't.
They're overregulated.
Yep. So, and yet they have unfeathered access to our markets at less than 2.5% tariff.
Yes.
Such a huge advantage. Such a huge advantage. I am so proud to say that I agree with Donald Trump with the reciprocal tariffs. You know, it's time. Listen, this whole tariff thing came about shortly after World War II, after the Marshall Plan, where we wanted to give all the European nation and all the countries that were really battered after World War II a leg up to try to encourage their economies to rebuild and help them rebuild their country and their economies and everything else. But like government, it never went away. All these policies stayed there since they're 80-year-old policies, and they've learned to live on that. You look at some of the countries that are getting some of the biggest tariffs on American-made goods. They're the ones that are getting the biggest amount of foreign aid from the United States through the State Department. So not only are they limiting the access to their country of American goods, they're getting huge amounts of money from the State Department on top of that. It's a double dipping that's got to stop. We are really hamstringing ourselves.
All these NGOs.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to stick to the whole tariff thing, because we could go on and meander about everything. It's just crazy. But I was just looking at the list of all the tariffs that have come out on the graphs that he had, and some of these countries were double digit, some 3-digit, in the hundreds of percentages of tariffs, and they're the ones that are getting the highest amount of foreign aid from the State Department at the tunes of millions and billions of dollars.
But why?
But look at Canada. Here's a perfect example. Here, Canada, when we all love our neighbors to the north, especially me. I'm a man with two hearts. But here's a country that screams the most about the tariffs and hates us right now.
Yep.
Yet last year, and you can look this up at the government website through the State Department, got $7 million in foreign aid given to them by the American taxpayer. Look that up.
Well, let's do some basic math here.
Come on.
Vietnam, right? Tariffs charged to the USA 90%. Okay, our reciprocal tariff 46%.
Yeah, 50% off. Yeah, I don't understand that. Now, okay, you said Vietnam. Let's take a quick look. Unfortunately, with the new system, we can't do
Cambodia 97%.
Keep that on there. Hold on. So let's do Vietnam foreign aid. All right. because this is the kind of stuff that I can't stand.
Oh, it's insane, right?
So let's see, blah, 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 blah. Foreign aid, it says it's a significant amount. I'm trying to find the actual dollar amount. Okay, so Vietnam receives $29 million.
Of our
I'm sorry, $29 billion of foreign aid from the United States.
How much?
And they're
charging us 90%
tariffs on our goods, yet they're getting 49. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, my phone just rang. I just looked it up here. They're getting 29 billion in foreign aid pledges from the United States.
Right, we're getting screwed, right? And you know, President Trump has said it over and over and over again, right? You know, it's wild. It's wild what's going on. You know, and these are, and you got to remember too, most of these are child labor countries, right? They allow it. So
yeah,
you know, some of these goods you're buying are made by 11-year-old or something. You know, so
I was watching this TikTok video, and you know, you wonder how would America ever compete against third world nations? You know, so here I think it was Malaysia or something like that. I forget which one it was.
Oh, 47%.
But what's that?
Tariff.
Oh, so here they were. It was an open air foundry on a beach. So the environmental regulations are out the door. They're wearing sandals and barefoot and ragged clothing. So that's out the door. And they were casting these giant gears in the sand on a beach. Massive gears, like 12 feet around. Massive gears. And they were popping them out with like pre-World War II cranes and stuff, and making these gears for ships. They're producing that gear for, I mean, a couple $100 because of the way they do it.
For thousands, hundreds of.
But could you imagine what it costs to make that gear in the United States? And yet you want America to compete against that. We can't.
Right.
So the tariffs. What tariffs do is they say, okay, Malaysia, it's what it is. Because of your unfair practices, your lack of environmental, your lack of OSHA, your lack of proper payments to your citizens, it costs you per hour, let's say 40 cents to make this gear. In America, it's several hundreds of dollars to make that same gear. Well, the tariffs will equalize that difference because you're not following basic economic rules or
Right.
you know, so. For our economy to work, you have to do that.
You know, I mean, let's just look at, you know, we know people who just vacationed in Vietnam. Okay, Vietnam's becoming like the place to go.
Actually, that looked like a great vacation.
Yeah, I was told it was pretty wild. So,
yeah, I'm sure.
No, just a great place.
Because those two know how to party.
They said it. The place is like, it's like Vegas. It's crazy. So, you know, but we went there. I mean, we rebuilt their economy there after the Vietnam conflict, which many of our soldiers were killed. And you know, here we are. I mean, it's I don't know. Oh, it drives me nuts.
It is. It's very, very frustrating.
Drives me nuts.
But actually, to your point, and this is kind of what you said earlier when we first started about people forgive and forget. I mean, look at some of our favorite, our best allies are people that we went to war with. You know, Germany, for the most part, is a good ally. I mean, they're going to come in. They're going to come in line with the tariffs.
Stuff coming out about that too.
Well, J.D. Vance was all over that when he went to Munich and talked about the freedom of speech and the freedom of the press that's going on and the crackdowns that's going there. But overall, they've been a better ally, and we were at war with them. Japan is an incredible ally, and we are at war. We were at war with them at one time. Canada, for that matter, when it was the part of the British Crown, you know, we were at war with them. They burnt our White House. You know, so
something to do.
You know, things change, and I understand that. But I think what you're seeing globally is America. Remember, America is one of the youngest countries that we're dealing with here.
It is.
And we're going through our rebellious teenage years compared to those, and we're realizing, you know what? I'm sick of paying for everybody's bullshit. I'm sick of paying for everybody to take advantage of me. I'm sick of paying for everybody that I'm going to give you money, but you're going to badmouth me to my friend. We're done with that.
No,
We're done with
it's-
that. And that was Trump's mandate.
It is, and they want economic stability. We're getting that back. Okay, the collapse of the dollar was happening in front of our faces.
But we were too busy with transgenders.
Yeah. Funding.
That's the problem.
Transgender mice experiments or whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, this attack on Tesla, this terrorism that's going on there, it's wild. I just the people are unhinged over a car that's made in America, by the way,
The most amount of more American components.
and over a man who is saving our sovereignty. That's what's happening.
Saving us money. Saving our country.
Saving our country. And it's not just Musk. So I mean, there's a litany, a team of highly intelligent individuals, CEOs from all over major corporations that have backed out of their roles to go and to work. We get the CEO of Airbnb. He said it was my duty as a citizen of the United
The
States.
CEO of Cantor.
AstraZeneca.
Alpha Cantor, the guy who lost his whole business on 9/11,
Yeah.
is now our commerce secretary.
I mean, these are. Listen, this is like the the Yankees of old, right? The team that has been assembled here for Trump and his administration. He learned his lesson from round one, not to trust that deep state swamp.
That's what it is. It's a swamp.
And he's exposing these people. I think when we look back to July in Butler, Pennsylvania, I think that was the turning point of America, and I think that was the day that our liberty was saved by divine intervention too. But strongly,
I believe
I'm a
it.
man
I
of
believe
faith.
I believe in divine intervention.
Yep.
Maybe not in this particular case, but definitely in. You can
There was
point
something
yeah,
there.
Yes,
There was
I
something
agree. But I think you look at as far as the divine intervention of
I think we
God with George Washington. I mean, here he is. He was facing the biggest naval might, the biggest army in the world, the most strongest and most powerful country, and a bunch of ragtag farmers with secondhand military equipment defeated them. So, that was definitely divine intervention there.
Yeah. How about a shout out?
To who?
Phil Barrett. Philippe?
Philippe. Hello, Philippe Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So is he going to sing the national anthem at the opening?
I tried to get that because we had Dan here yesterday, who's the voice of
Albany
Speedway.
Saratoga.
Yep. Great.
Oh my God, he's a
guys,
great
go
announcer.
back and look at that. Watch that show. It's very good, very informative. We talked about the perspective of what's coming up with the track, and that's 200 year of Saratoga. They have a big
60 years at Albany Saratoga Speedway.
Yes, so there's a lot of big things coming on. We talked about that, and that's when I found out that Phil sang the national anthem for the 4th of July weekend.
He did.
It was great.
Awesome.
It was great.
Yeah.
If anybody's got a chance, Google Phil Barrett. I'm sure he doesn't like all these accolades, but boy, what a golden voice.
Oh, he's got the silver tongue.
Maybe not the looks, but definitely the.
He's got the silver tongue. Phil Barrett.
Oh, what's up with his tongue and you? Weird. Speaking of that, I heard that you're running for re-election.
I am, yeah, in the town of Half Moon. As a council seat member, it's something that I enjoy doing. It's working directly for the people, right? We have a great town. We have great staff. Our highway department goes out there. They keep our roads immaculate.
Bill does a good job there.
Bill Bryan's hell of a job as a highway superintendent there. Our water supply is clean and one of the best in the state. Frank Taroni does a hell of a job there as a water commissioner there. We do a lot, right? We do a lot for our community. Our seniors our senior center is packed every day. We do our Meals on Wheels through the county. We work hand in glove with them. Hundreds of meals go out a day too, for the seniors. That's big. That's a lot, right?
Sure.
Our food bank, we have a great food bank up there. If people do need help, we're willing to help. Our town is one of it's all for one, right? And
One for all.
one for all. Yeah,
Sorry.
no, we
Muskets.
wow.
Musketeer.
But
All
no,
for
we're
one for all.
we're hitting the ground. Our petitions were signed. They were sent to the county, so we'll be on the ballot here in November. We got a great slate of candidates, seasoned candidates who have been working to ensure that Half Moon remains tax free. It'll be our 4 decades of a tax free town.
That goes hand in glove with a strong county.
It does with the county, right?
Yep.
With the support of the county. So
Phil Barrett is
Phil Barrett's
in
the
charge.
he's the chairman of the board of supervisors. So,
Yes.
we
Shout out to Phil Barrett.
shout out to Phil Barrett. Philippe. So we I love the town of Half Moon. I got older here. I'd like to say I didn't grow up yet. So but I got
Well, you
older.
could tell because you're here.
I know. But no, we I do. I love Half Moon. It's been great not only for my family but my friends and family as well. So we're looking to we build roots here, right? My son's here now. My daughter's here. We're gonna continue to work for the people, right? That's the important piece. Is if somebody needs something, or we gotta address some situations that go on in town, which happen quite daily. There's a lot going on. Town of Half Moon's one of the fastest growing towns in the state of New York. So
Nice big project coming up on 146.
yeah,
and
Marketplace
149.
146. There's a lot of misconceptions about this project and how it's going to impact traffic and stuff. In fact, there's going to be a lot of there's been a lot of studies that went into this project. Go online, research it. Marketplace 146. They have Facebook, Twitter, or let me walk that back. X.
We all know what it is.
Yep. They got a lot of social media presence now. Great engineering firm there involved with that. Great builder. The Louisi family is going to take the lead on that. They build wonderful projects that not only house people but work to better the community, right? And by bettering the communities, bringing in A-level stores, right? So and shopping. So
Yeah, because
it's gonna be a pretty cool
the
place.
last thing you want is to build a big complex like that and have it half empty.
Yeah, I mean, and people will see, right? They're, oh, where's the tenants? Where's it? They have tenants lined up. They didn't go into this half-assed, right, if you will, for lack of a better term. They went in predisposed, and I think you're going to see some national brands coming in. I think it's going to be an awesome project. The traffic that's going to be up there, we worked with the state of New York to try to make flows better through that area. They're working on. We have a triplex, if you will, systematic approach working with Clifton Park, the state, and the town of Half Moon to hopefully increase and better the 146 9 intersection. That's a pretty big intersection. A lot of
But
vehicle
it's-
traffic
I mean,
there. But,
even-
but it flows now. It's going to flow
Yeah.
even better in the coming
But
years.
for as long as I
Coming
can
months, I should
remember, that's always been a troublesome intersection anyways. It's not like it's anything new. It's just there's a lot of traffic there. Always
There
has.
is. There is. I mean, listen, that's a major interface, right? Exit 9. Exit 9, that dumps into Clifton Park and Half Moon, right? And then from there, everybody's like, oh, it's Clifton Park, Half Moon traffic. I challenge you because I've challenged myself to go and look at these studies and stuff. A lot of it's pass-through traffic. Okay, what is a pass-through traffic? Going to Stillwater, going to Scottico, going to Melrose, going up to Schuylerville or whatnot, right? Taking the back roads, going to Mechanicville or whatever. So that's where the traffic is coming through. They're commuting. That's their commute to work or
What
travel
about
or whatever.
just speaking? Just throwing spitballing, I guess. What about petitioning the state to allow the farmer to market overpass to be an on and off exit there?
Well, that's because the intersection there at Usher's Road. and
Not
Farm
Usher's.
Market.
Before farmer market.
Yeah, that whole area. Yeah, but that's Usher's would be dumping out to that farm to market and all that. The intersection is probably not a classified intersection to be able to handle that type of traffic.
Hmm.
So could it be done? Yeah, it'd be a lot of infrastructure upgrades, huge. I mean, huge money. We're talking probably, close to.
But those
$1
people in
billion
Malaysia could do a lot cheaper
on the
just
beach,
saying.
on the beach,
on the beach.
11-year-old engineering.
I love to throw levity in
I
the
do.
conversation.
We have to, right?
These are serious
We're keeping it
topics.
real, but it is serious, right?
Yeah.
It's stuff that affects us every day, and this is why we're here. We're here to get the message out.
Yeah.
What you do with the information is up to you. You
In
can,
a fun,
And-
entertaining,
yeah, fun,
and
entertaining.
non-combative way.
you can burn your.
Jeez, I thought it was pretty good. Just
Yeah, back in the saddle.
so for those of you who didn't know, we actually were off and down for a while. We've been doing a lot of upgrades at the studio, new computer systems and cameras. Our background is all new, and so trying to make things a lot more interface, because coming down the road, we want to have people be able to chime in during the podcast, maybe call in or have Zoom conference, because there's some guests that Jeremy would like to have on here, maybe of the NASCAR community or whatnot, or even in government, which I think would be fun to have. And that's all things that we're working to. All this stuff is expensive. We are all privately driven here. Although your subscriptions help a lot, helps us with algorithms and getting us known. We're always looking to have new topics and new people on. So anybody ever wants to come on, reach out to myself or Jeremy or Mike Vincent. And he's always in the background.
The OG.
He's always in the background, doing the Facebook page and whatnot. But he's always part of the show no matter what.
Yep.
So
Always will.
reach out, and if you want to come on here, want to talk about something, you got something that's important, chime in. We love it.
Bring it.
Bring it on.
But I gotta say though, Jay, first time here on the new equipment, home run.
Thanks.
Home run.
It's a work in progress. I have a good team that's helped me out. Michael Santiago, that's what I call him.
Mike,
Michael.
Shout
He helps.
out.
He helps out a lot. Without him, there's no way I could even do any of this. So.
yeah, no, it's great, and we obviously reconfigured the room here a little bit and stuff, try to open it up to really make it more user friendly, not only for us presenting, but the guests that come in as well.
Yeah, we actually are going to have a live audience. That's the next. We're going to have people if they want to come Sunday nights. We have like a doghouse on Sunday nights. It's myself, Adam, and I'm trying to think if I want to say his name, because he'll get me. No, he'll get me. He'll get mad at me. Mr. Morse, Johnny Morse comes in and he does. We do the doghouse on a Sunday night, and
I saw Sean.
yeah, he's just coming back from Florida. That bastard.
Well, he was up at an establishment in the town of Half Moon.
Nice. He's a good guy. He's fun. I was hanging out with his brother last weekend.
Okay.
But so we're gonna have guests actually come in and partake in a live audience and heckle us and throw jokes and that kind of stuff. So we're looking at building different things and doing different things, and
If you got ideas, let us know.
yeah, and all for your enjoyment.
Wow. Go to so many places there.
So in wrapping up, Mr. Man here, what is your thought on what's going to happen with these tariffs and the goddamn GOP? They can't seem to keep it together to support the Trump agenda. The Murkowskis and the Collins and
Well, they're part of the old school.
the turtlehead Mitch McConnell.
They're the scurv, right? He's pushing the scurv out, and I think what we're going to see, I think it's going to be a success. Listen, he's all in. I'm all in. I support him. I support President Trump. I support his ideas. If you don't like what he says, I'm sorry. Grow up. We have a right to our opinion. Everybody has one. The acts that are going on against Tesla and
Horrible.
horrible. The Democrats coming out telling
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Tim Walz.
I have this
idiots.
app on my phone, and when I see a Tesla stock going down, it gives me a boost of my day. Does he not realize how many people's retirement are locked into Tesla, including
doesn't.
his state's pension fund?
Hey, how about Pat Fahey? You know who she is? New York Senator,
Go
right?
ahead, yeah.
New
Oh,
York
yeah,
State
out of
Senator.
Rochester, yeah.
Okay. No, she's local. She's local here.
That was
Pat Fahey.
Oh,
Okay.
wrong one.
She is trying to to shut down all the Tesla dealerships here in New York State
oh,
and
that's
pull all the
smart.
pension funds from Tesla.
That's
What are you
smart.
doing? What are you
Stupid.
doing? Vote these people out, okay? They don't care about you.
You know,
They don't give a shit.
you
And
know-
that's the problem.
the big difference between conservatives and I would say liberal Democrats is, when we were all upset about Anheuser-Busch putting Mulvaney up with Bud Light and it went against our core beliefs, we just stopped buying Bud Light.
In
We didn't go after the company. We didn't burn the breweries down. We didn't firebomb places that sold it. We just didn't buy the beer.
Yep.
We didn't destroy the company.
You don't want to buy the product? Don't buy
You
the
don't like
product.
Elon
No one
Musk?
cares.
Just don't go buy the car. Why would you firebomb a car, intimidate people, vandalize people's stuff?
Look at
What
these
is wrong with
protests.
you
Look at these
people?
protests. Go to work. Go to work. Don't you have anything better to do? Oh my God.
Nuts.
It's
I
insane.
just don't understand. I'll tell you though, it makes you want to go buy a Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, sales. They say sales are up.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was just listening to it on our right.
I hope so.
Yeah, they were saying they're
I hope so.
and Jay, going back to your question, do I think things are going to work out? Yes, I do. I think you have to remember we are only a couple of months into this administration.
I know. It just seems like it's been there's
seems like
so much that has happened. I mean, I feel like it's
Yeah.
2 years worth of stuff that has been happening in the last 2 months.
I love it.
The speed at which this man operates. How you could bring up age, I don't know, because this man, I think, works longer hours, is busier than probably
Hey,
people half of our age.
How about the Dems are pissed off because they got a Diet Coke button on his desk? Are you kidding? What is going on? They major in the minors, man. They really do. They hang on.
But
low.
I think he does
Bullshit.
that
He does
just
it-
to get them
oh,
riled up.
Well, he's exposing him. That's what's happening. He's not even riling them up. He's exposing them for the lack of intellect and thought that they have.
Like the whole
How about
third
Cory
term,
Booker?
the whole
I
third.
went over 24 hours.
Although I have to say, I have to give that guy credit. In the fact that I've done a cast-a-thon that one day, and
it was rough.
and he went 12 hours more than we did.
Yeah.
By himself. We had guests come in and out and da-da-da.
Yeah, we
so for
skated
him
around.
for him to do that for 25 and third hour, I think it was. I got to give him credit there, but
They beat Strom Thurmond.
he did beat Strom
Yeah.
Thurmond. That was what he was aiming for.
Strom
and
did, I think, 24.
24, yeah.
Right?
So he did 25 and a third, I think.
Yeah.
So I got to give him credit there. I mean, kudos to him for that. See, as a conservative Republican, I can say I disagree with you, but good for you for doing what you did. Which they would never offer me
No.
that at
No,
all.
they would banish you.
That's right.
They
But
would come
anyway,
after your business. They would come after your family.
yeah, I think that was great for him, although it accomplished, and he said absolutely nothing other than the same old rhetoric. But
And people laughed. A lot of people laughed.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
comical. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just look at it and I go, come on, get with yourself.
like when he threw out the third term, there's a possibility of me running for a third term.
I love
They
it.
all went crazy, and he's
He's
sitting
laughing.
back going, "You guys are so stupid."
They
He does that. That's the way he is.
fishing expedition.
Yeah,
right?
he
It's
just
amazing.
says shit to get people riled up. You know what he reminds me of in many ways? My dad.
Jay Thompson.
My dad. Yep. He reminds me of my father. He
No, he
says
does.
shit just to get me. Well, just to get me pissed off. He'll say shit to
no. I've witnessed your father say shit. He's like, watch this.
get. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
And he knows
Yep.
just to get me going or to get people around that
Great.
he knows is going to get fired up. Trump does the same thing. I think
yeah,
he wants to do something he knows could get some flack. I'm going to say something wag the dog and so outlandish that they all focus on that. Like I really
He's
think
over here. He's over here doing his thing.
I think the whole signal was exactly that. It was let them focus on that. It
No.
takes the pressure off this.
and that was minor too. I mean, come on, that was nothing.
Of course.
And
And I love the way Trump said, "It's over.
yeah.
We're not looking any further
Yeah,
into it,"
moving on.
and it disappeared.
Yeah.
There you go.
They wanted a newsreel. You know what they should be reporting? How about the tornadoes that are going on?
Oh, horrible.
Is it because USAID got stopped with their cloud seeding?
I believe in that.
I'll tell you,
Well,
listen,
for all
and
you
I-
people that don't think there was weather manipulation,
Oh.
why is it the state of Florida just passed a ban on weather manipulation and cloud seeding?
Yep. Oh, how about Wisconsin? Let's talk about that quick.
Go ahead.
You need to have a full voter ID.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that passed, yet a very liberal judge got elected? That would be like saying,
There's a lot of questions still going on with that.
there's a two diametrically opposing views, and yet one. I could see if the liberal judged and no, or the liberal judged and no, but
So there's
yes
some
and yes.
algorithms that we're
Weird.
looking at too that don't match up with the outcome of that election.
That's like
So,
saying, oh, tons of people went to the Chinese restaurant, yet pizza sales are up. That makes no sense.
that doesn't make any sense. It's like a football bat.
A torpedo bat, like the Yankees are using now.
Oh, you know what?
They moved that
There's-
that hitting spot on the bat, and
There, the sweet spot, right?
yeah,
But let's look at it. They played within the laws.
I love it.
In the gray.
I
Every day.
play in the gray. You know that.
Or yourself.
Sometimes. It's all-
What just happened?
You're fucked. You're screwed up. You're screwed
Oh,
up.
this is
I almost
family-
did.
this is family
I
entertainment.
almost had to hit my own dump button.
You did. Dump and run.
Yeah. That's what you did the other day.
What's Wheels off the bus.
Go round and round.
And off.
All right. Well, listen, we wanted to get in here and talk about a couple of things. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We
Yeah, give
tried
us a like, give us a love.
absolutely
That's-
more love than like. But stay tuned. This will be a weekly thing, hopefully for Jer and I. And
Yeah, we're gonna get ramped up here. We're gonna try to get my schedule locked down.
and actually, we're really gonna try. Phil Barrett is on board with this, and I also, like I said, a couple other people we're talking to. We want to try to do a couple of live remotes, possibly from the race hauler rooftop at a racetrack.
Oh, where?
Who knows?
The 23.
To be posted at a later date. That was what they call a tease.
I just Googled.
You just what?
Google it.
Shh.
Oh.
No, no.
But listen, we can't
I'll
do it
be coming.
without all you out there.
That's
We
right.
appreciate it. And I kudos to Jay. Jay invested into significant upgrades here. He's invested from the start, and does a hell of a job here. And shout out to Jay, because without this, we can't get the messages out. We can't come on. We can't deliver. And
We can't be goofy. We're goofy. Absolutely.
what's OPC?
I like it. I like doing this. It's fun. My friends come on. We have some good times, good chats, and it breaks the day up. And then we talk about some good stuff, serious stuff,
Yeah.
some lighthearted
No, I'll
stuff.
tell you. I mean, there's a lot of heavy stuff going on. And the only thing I'll say is be safe out there, right?
Yes. Be safe,
Love
united.
one another.
We're all red, white, and blue. Till we meet again, guys.
USA every day.